Hello viewers, today we're going to be cleaning up this Kenmore 40 pints dehumidifier model 75940. If you hear some water dripping in the background, well, that's because there's water dripping. I installed the bedroom air conditioner on the left side this year and didn't realize that there was a reason why I always install it on the right side, because now the water from the air conditioner is dripping right onto the window, which is annoying. So we're gonna have to change that, but that's a different story. So it's finally warm enough to use this thing. We'll be using this in the living room to start with and see how well it works in there. Unfortunately, these older dehumidifiers just don't like the cold. So now it's 73 down here. It's staying above 70. I could probably use this downstairs now, but it's a very aesthetically pleasing machine, so I'd rather use it upstairs. So we're going to start by taking the cover off here. That's not going to do it. I need a bolt driver. Look at that, machine screws. None of this cheap plastic self-tapping threading junk. Real screws. Now this is on swiveling casters, but they're just not working that well. Which is kind of unfortunate because it is heavy. I'm going to take the front cover off here first. So we're going to be cleaning this very conservatively because it's not that dirty, and we have some documents on the top and on the inside, so we're not going to be spraying the case with anything. We'll just wash that with a cloth. The coils appear to have some kind of corrosive or rust inhibiting coating, which is working. So I don't want to put any coil cleaner onto the coil in case it takes that off. So I think we can get it just with water. The coil is very thick. It's very low fins per inch coil. So we spray the hose with a good pressure through there. I think we can get all the junk out. We've also got a new cord that we'll put on, and then it'll be safe to run. There's no capacitor to check because I believe this is a shaded pole motor. And in the previous video I had stated that this is a reciprocating compressor, and I have been corrected in the sense that it's inherently not a reciprocating compressor, and it's allegedly a rotary vane compressor, which is kind of interesting. So that's that. So yeah, so we're not going to get this wet because that's all kind of open there. We'll put some oil in the fan motor, get that taking care of. Actually, the interior of this is a little bit worse than I thought it was. It doesn't look bad on this side, but then in here, it's a little bit grungy in there. Well, we'll see what we can do with just the water. I think we can probably get it. We'll give it a shot. And then we can probably maybe put some light soap or something in there in the bottom, or that might just all come right off. Let's see here. The power cord. That's going to be easy to replace. Although, I gotta see, I actually might have some of those terminals. This has these kind of leads on it, which are not going to help us in this case. I'll check to see if I have some of those other leads. I might. So we'll replace the cord, and we'll be good. Alright, we'll pick up outside. On second hand, let's see if we can separate this a little bit before we go outside. Even if we just get an inch or half an inch, it's still something more to work with that we didn't have before. It's going to be very, very tight quarters here. I'd rather move all this apparatus in the front here anyways, away from where the water is going to be sprayed. I don't know if this humidistat's working or not anymore. It probably isn't. I never found these to be super accurate anyways. Yeah, we can buy ourselves a half an inch or so here. That's about it, though. You really can't bend this. I guess it's not too bad in there. Alright, let's get this cleaned up outside. The chunks of dust came up, but there's still some grime in there. We might need to use some kind of a soap. That cleaned up fine because that never gets wet in there. This coil never gets wet, so that cleaned up easy. Yeah, the condenser is spotless already. It's just the stinking evaporator that's going to be an issue. We'll get some soap. I'm content with how that cleaned up. We're not using coil cleaner, it's pretty much spotless. The electronics and everything in the back, or not electronics, but electrical components rather, did get wet, so we're going to have to just let it dry out for a while. That's fine. I'll set it up downstairs next to another dehumidifier, give it an hour or so, let it dry out, and then we'll rewire the unit, oil the fan, and it should be ready to go. While that's drying out, we're going to go ahead and wash the cover. I've got a soft bristled brush. It's bad lighting. And we're going to just kind of sweep around in there like that and hopefully get this to come clean. Probably going to have to use a little bit of soap on this one. Okay, that looks pretty good. Hopefully it dries just as nice. A lot of the scratches and stuff disappear when it's wet, but I think it'll look pretty good. Alright, we're back on the bench. Everything's been all cleaned up. In a perfect world, I think I would install some insulation on this suction line here, because you can see that the dripping of the water is causing a lot of oxidation on the side of the compressor. But this is all surface. It's nowhere near going through there in 50 years, and I probably still won't even have taken the paint off, so we're just gonna leave it alone. You know, stuff like this, there's a point where it's just not worth messing with anymore, because this equipment is old, it's tired, it just doesn't want to be messed with. And yeah, so you clean it up and you do the best you can within a certain extent, and in some things you just don't mess with. Like even moving this was pretty risky. It's not something I typically like to do. So I used the Dawn soap, and that worked pretty good. There's like 2 specks of dust. I sprayed the water in like this, and there's a couple specks left in there still. I want to see if I can get those out. Hold on a minute. This might be another one of those things that you just leave alone even though it's not 100% correct. Yeah, I think that's what it's gonna be. There's just no way to reach it. I don't want to bend any coils in here because that was not going to be fun to straighten them back out. Yeah, I can't get it. Alright, not a big deal. 2 specks of dust are in there, whatever. 99% of the coils open. It'll work fine. Certainly better than it was. So put this back. Actually kind of warm in here today. I don't want to turn the air conditioner on and cool it off, because then the dehumidifier is not going to work right, and we're going to need the dehumidifier tonight. It's going to be raining. Seems to always be a problem around here. I'm really quite certain that there's a coating on this, because you can see with the liquid line here, it's copper, then it turns silver, just like everything else. So something is definitely sprayed on here or whatever, and it works, whatever it is, because there's 0 rust on the coil, and it does have the stupid steel piece there, and it's still not rusted. So just goes to show that it can be done, and it used to be, but it's not anymore. Now I still have not quite figured out how this automatic shutoff works, or if it works. I actually don't know. The only thing I could think of is that it's somehow like air based, because there's nothing in it. There's nothing in this rubber piece that hangs down. So I don't know. I might turn it on and fill it up and see if it works, because if it doesn't work, I'd like to know now before I have water all over the floor upstairs. Put this apparatus back. So this does not go back until the cover goes on. This we can put back. This I actually wanted to change this because I don't like the way that this is up against the coil like that, but I don't know. Might be another one of those things where it's been like that for 50 years, just leave it alone. That is pretty tight. I guess it's not going to vibrate at all. And this is the full indicator light, I guess. This needs some more slack. It's way more slack. Why is it like that? That's very uneven. I think I've got this backwards. I think the self-tapping screws were on that thing. Make more sense for that to go over here, because I don't recall if that's where it was or not. No, it definitely was over there, but I'm going to put it over here. Alright, so that goes back on with the, when the guard goes back on. And now this is where we're going to be doing most of our work here. I want to see if I can change this. I suppose this could, I don't know if this could be set up a different way. Because the problem is this sticks down into the bucket and it gets in the way when you're trying to empty it. So it's kind of a dumb setup in that sense. See if we can do something about that. You might need to get a new clamp. This one's probably going to be too small. I might be able to make it work. Here's a new cord. This is a heavy duty water resistant 12 gauge cord. I prefer to go with 12 gauge for air conditioners, anything with compressors, because it's a high startup draw with these old units, and you want to give them as much power as you can. Even though these are nice connectors on here, we're going to have to go and cut those off because they won't work with this application. Keep the grounding though, that'll work. Need to strip anything back? No, I think we're all set with that. Okay, so let's undo the grounding at the bottom. Okay, and then the power goes in down at the bottom, and the common is up at the top. Now, thanks to the letter H, we have the right equipment here. The letter H sent me a whole bunch of electrical pieces earlier, or no, it wasn't this year, it was a couple years ago now. So now I've got all sorts of terminals and things when I need them. Oh, these terminals might be too small. I think these are technically only for 14 gauge wire. I think we can get them on here. Yeah, we'll get it. Yeah, it's a little tight, but it worked. Now, I don't have... I know I own a crimping tool for this, but that mystery box of additional tools I don't use very often has disappeared again. So, I'm just going to crimp it down with the 9s for now. This is not ideal, but... it's fine. You know what's nice about this? It's an all metal case. The whole case is bonded. If a wire comes off and makes a connection to something it shouldn't, circuit breaker trips. Very simple. Whereas with a plastic unit, you know, you might get a fire or something crazy going on. Actually, you know what might crimp this even better is this tool. Yeah, that's definitely not coming off. Not ideal, but it worked. Okay, so the ground connects down here at the bottom. And now the common, for whatever unintuitive reason, connects up at the top with the rest of the black wires, and then the high side connects at the bottom. So a little tight here. There's a lot of wires going around. Okay. New wires installed. And now on the other end of the cord, we have a new plug. these plugs are not very well made, not very well designed. The center of the screw is like below the accessible surface area, which is kind of dumb. Okay, our plug is connected. And of course this plug does not look as nice as the original one, but this cord does look nicer than an electrical fire. Alright, that's all set. Let's go ahead and turn it on just to make sure everything is copacetic. Seems to be. Now, curiously, the hissing sound just stopped, or at least it's changing. So, for whatever reason, it's charging up a lot faster this time than the previous tests. And it has not been used in a long time. It's been weeks since the prior videos. That's peculiar. Yeah, the intro is going up too. Can already hear the gas. Alright, so the cord is good. That's all set. Of course, we'll check it and make sure it doesn't heat up, but I don't see any reason why it would. So the last bit of trouble to deal with is going to be the mounting of the cord. I don't like the way that it was before because it gets in the way of the bucket. So let's just slip the cover on real quick and see if there's a different way that we can route it down. I have a feeling there is not, but let's see. Yeah, there's not a lot of options here because this, even if this was sideways, I think it would still be a problem. What a stupid design. It really bothers me. And there is enough space that could potentially we could... What if it came out the side like that? Eventually it's going to wear out the cord, but I suppose we could try to do that. Or we could even just send it out the bottom. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, let's do that. I'll see if I can send it out the bottom. Is there any other strain relief on this thing here? No, there is not. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to route the cord. I'm going to throw some screwdrivers first, and then I'm going to route the cord to come down like this and out the bottom. Now this clip is technically too small for this wire. It was meant for something much smaller, but if we just kind of reshape it a little bit, I think we'll be able to reuse it. Yeah, we can reuse it. So we'll just stick this like this. I don't like the way that's pinching the wire like that. See if we can get that dip out of there. Alright, that might be good. Yeah, that's good. I'm content with it like that. Alright, that's better because now this can come in and out. It doesn't come in and out very nicely anyways because of that stinking, the way the overflow is designed, but this is better. It's much less annoying now. Okay, let's slip the cover back on, and I think we're going to be calling this one finished. This is nice, this quarter placed real clean. I like when it goes that way. I'm going to have to repaint this cover at some point. Unfortunately, it got kind of jacked up on the way home, but it was that or it wasn't coming home, so it was the lesser of the two problems. This is a slight potential for a problem too. Alright. I think that's a wrap. So now I'm gonna go get a watering can and we're gonna fill this up. I'm going to turn the machine on, we're going to fill it up, and let's see if it shuts off. I don't know what to expect. I hope it works, but I really don't know. I just realized I forgot to oil the fan motor. You realize how ridiculous that is? Have to take that control thing off as well again. That's kind of a stupid design. I mean, it is only 2 screws, so it's not really a big deal. But okay, fan motor. It says S.A.E. 20 non-detergent every 6 months. Probably been about 50 years. But I'll throw some oil in here now. It's still pretty free, but we'll get it better. Okay, now the servicing is complete, whereas before it was not. And then it'll get better over time. Once this runs, the bearings heat up, it'll pull in that oil. Alright, let's try again. Actually, looks like it's getting better already. Alright, let's try that again. I don't know, something just tells me that this is not going to work. You know, that compressor does sound really bizarre. I didn't realize that at first, but it does sound weird. That's the rotary vane. I hear it now. I absolutely hear it. Well, that's pretty stinking full. I'm going to say that it doesn't work. The auto shut-off does not work. And I don't know how it works. So we're going to have to do a part 2 on this one at some point. It's stinking humid today, so I just want to make this thing work. This is a huge pan, so I'm not worried about it filling up. If I empty it once a day, I don't think it'll fill up. Yeah, I have no idea how that works. If anybody understands that mechanism, let me know so I can try to troubleshoot it. Otherwise, I will have to take it all apart and troubleshoot it myself and solve the mystery. Alright, let's grab the front cover and we'll be all set here. Well, that's the thermostat's cutting it on and off. If it's actually going to accurately keep humidity or not, that is yet to be seen. I would have preferred the controls to be a little easier access, but I guess it doesn't really matter. There's no reason to shut off the thing's not a fire hazard. It can run unattended. That looks really nice. I cleaned up good. Now I gotta empty the bucket somehow. This is gonna spill everywhere, I think. That's a nice high capacity bucket though. A new one probably don't even hold a quarter that much. Whoa. Well, it did spill everywhere, but it contained to the table. Here's where it's going to live for now, upstairs in the living room. It's humid in here. It's going to be humid all night, so let's get this thing running. And this will be in here, well, pretty much until further notice. Probably until I get the second air conditioner installed, then I might not need it anymore, but for now, this should save me a lot of money as opposed to having to run that carrier all the time. Because it just costs so much to run a unit of that size, especially with the light bill going up 30% now at the end of the month. Not good. But this is good. Good equipment.